you know, the whole topic around the whole artwork was smoking in the Aboriginal community. I guess when I had the canvas, I'd started mixing up colours, and the colours that you can see in the artwork weren't the original colours. I started painting the pink symbols first, and they were actually like a purple colour to begin with. But on that day, my mum actually works with our service as our admin assistant, and I was lucky enough for mum to arrive and turn up to that workshop on the day, and as she sat at the table opposite me, I kind of got that inspiration of what I was going to paint, and it all came to me that I think within my mum's family, being Aboriginal and one of 9 children, that 6 of her family members, of her siblings, have all had heart attacks. And in this painting, it resembles I think what, you know, my aunties have suffered with heart disease and the impacts of smoking within my family. So I guess it's kind of an emotional kind of journey, but at the same time, I think what I tried to portray was that, you know, my mum, I've seen it in real life. I've seen my mum go through double bypass and seen her recover from that, and, you know, gradually give up smoking. But as for my mum's sisters, like, to identify out of 6 sisters that 4 women, Aboriginal women, have all had heart attacks in that family under the age of 50. So if it's not an eye-opener for me, I don't know what is. What I started to create in this painting was the journey of where it all began. And if you see the 2 symbols at the bottom, you've got 2 sort of ancestors. So it was like my grandparents, both smokers, and then it sort of stemmed into our families, like all my cousins, like this is the family, the circles, and everybody sort of coming together and how they're connected. And then obviously the pink symbols are representing my aunties. The grey dots represent the smoke from the cigarette. I actually didn't draw a cigarette because I just didn't want to even identify that. But then the dots, the black dots, were sort of like what intertwined my family, my aunties and my mum, and then obviously the love heart of being family, love, but also incorporating the whole heart disease. And then it comes to the arteries, obviously, which is the first time I've ever drawn or painted anything like that. And the black in the middle actually represents the tar. I don't know, I was just thinking of all the tar that blocks the arteries, and I started doing some dots in there. So pretty much that's what it came up with. The white dots actually represent like healing. With these white dots, it sort of portrays that whole grieving process, maybe, of coming together as, you know, my family, and all the heartache and sort of sadness that has come from these heart attacks. I think this artwork resembles, you know, I mean, it could tell a story. People might tell a different story from it, but as for me, I obviously called it heart and soul, because I don't know, the whole heart that I put into it and the soul that I put into this painting, you know, reflects back on my family, and it's my Aboriginal family.